you?
Yes, I can speak now.
Can I speak with Ehab?
Yeah, sure. You're speaking to him.
So I am calling on behalf of IDR Inc. regarding a job opportunity. Is this a good time to talk?
Sure.
Okay. So, this is regarding an opportunity that I have with our direct client, who is looking for a data center technician too. The role is located in Tacoma, Washington. It will be a 12-month W-2 contract position, with a high possibility for extension. Would this be something that interests you?
You know, the Seattle area is a preferred location.
Okay, I will make a note of it.
I
This
worked
call may
in.
be recorded to provide and improve our service. To opt out of call recording, please say opt out, otherwise, say continue.
Continue.
In this call, I would like to ask a few questions
So
regarding
I
your
have,
experience and expectations, and
I
answer
have a
any questions
question.
that you may have. So,
I
to
have a
start with, could you
question.
tell me a bit about your most recent project?
I worked for Verizon, and the project was we were building a nationwide network spanning the whole country. So the work involved, you know, coming up with the design, making platform recommendations, you know, building the configuration, implementation. Network goes live. We test the network. We send notifications to directors, VPs, and then we move on to another site. In a matter of 3 years, I've independently built about 300 sites in different cities across the country.
Awesome. The client is looking for someone with data center installation and maintenance skills. Could you tell me about your past projects with this skill and the years of experience you hold?
You know, I have about, over 20 years of experience, and many of those years were at Cisco and focusing on data center devices and data center switches. So, for example, I'm familiar with the 7K, the 710 and the 718. I have extensive experience with the 7K, 710 and 718, and then all flavors of the Nexus 5K. And then all 8 flavors of the 2K, 2232, 2248. So many of the projects I worked on were companies that had existing data centers based on the 6500, 3750 platforms. And my job was to upgrade the data centers to the new design, 7K, 5K design, 7K, 5K, 2K design.
That sounds wonderful. What about racking, cabling, and labeling equipment?
Yes, I mean, in various projects, you know, racking and, you know, deciding on the rack types and number of shelves and the cable types was part of the project. So we had to leave the office, go to the data center, make sure equipment were racked properly and, you know, cables were connected properly too. Yeah, so that was part of the project in some instances. And obviously in other instances, you're just working from the office remotely and you're working with an on-site person. So I do have racking cabling experience.
All right. Could you tell me about your experience with server architecture and DCIM?
Server architecture. So I'm familiar with like traditional servers where you'll just have where you'll have a server with, you know, one CPU, one memory, one RAM, one network interface card, and so on. But also, I'm familiar with new servers like VMware and other vendors, and I'm talking virtualization, where you can have a server with many virtual machines, and these virtual machines will share the CPU, they'll share the RAM, they'll share the network interface card. There'll be a hypervisor that will share the resources. So there'll be a hypervisor, so the resources can be shared by all these VMs. I'm familiar with the Cisco 1000V, which you can install to be your hypervisor. And yeah, so I'm familiar with, and also how servers are connected, whether you're connecting them via copper, fiber, FCOE, etc.
Great. Are you authorized to work in the U.S.?
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen.
That's good. Do you require sponsorship now or in the near future to work in the U.S.?
I am a U.S. citizenship and I don't require sponsorship.
Okay, I have noted it down. The profile requires you to commute to Tacoma, Washington. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I can fly to Seattle. Do you guys pay for
Got it.
relocation?
What is your expected hourly pay rate?
It's, it depends. It depends. I worked on some projects that paid $70 an hour, and I worked on
Did
some
you say
projects that
$70
paid.
per hour?
That's the lower range, but I've also worked on some projects that paid $120 an hour, and that's close to that's about $250,000 annual. So no two projects are the same.
Did you say $2 per hour?
I'm saying $120 per hour. $120 per hour.
Did you say $120 per hour?
Yes.
Is the hourly pay negotiable?
Yeah.
Got it. So, the client has a pay range of $28 to $32 per hour, so the max pay for the role would be $32. Would that work for you or is it too low?
It is too low for me. I do have, I'm connected to many people, entry-level jobs, and they usually start at $80,000 annual, I would say on average. So when you say $30 an hour, so that translates to how much annual?
Okay. I have taken a note of your expectations. Do you have any other offer in hand or are you expecting from somewhere?
I completed 2 interviews successfully in the past 2-3 days.
Got it. Have you applied for another job recently?
I'm not applying. I'm not really looking. I do get a lot of calls, though. A lot of recruiters call me because
Okay,
they want
I
to
will
talk
make a
to
note
me.
of it. If everything goes
Mhm.
well, how soon would you be able to start working?
I would say 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, because I need to relocate and travel.
All right, I have made a note of it. Do you have any questions for me?
Usually when I meet the technical teams, I ask them what are the short, medium, and long-term goals, not for the company, but specifically for the team I'll be working in. And this gives me an idea of how much value I can add and the projects I'll be working on.
Sorry, I am not aware of it. I will make a note of it. Would you like to know anything else?
That will be a question to the technical teams. So yeah, it's good that you're making a note of it, and when I talk to them, I'll ask the question.
Sorry, I am not aware of it. I will make a note of it. Okay, thank you so much for your time. If everything goes well, we will have one of the recruiters reach back to you. Have a good day. Bye.
Are you a recruiter?